Freight Dog Danny. Welcome to E-Bike Adventures with Freight Dog Danny. I'm starting out on foot today again, and we'll get to riding here momentarily. The subject of today, and before we get started, I know that the car is dirty. We've had a lot of rain and snow here recently and haven't got around to washing it yet, but we have unseasonably warm weather for the 4th of March, and but I'm sure we're still going to have plenty of winter weather to contend with between now and when spring finally arrives. But the temperature being what it is, I couldn't resist getting out and about today. So the subject for today is, are you cheating when you are riding an e-bike? That is a subject that has come up time and again by not only me but by other YouTubers, and I think what most of it is based on from traditional cyclists is the fact that there's more people out there on the trails than they were used to, and we are somewhat invading their space. Also, all people are reluctant to change. When the first hydraulic brakes first came out, I imagine that other cyclists said, "Oh, you're cheating, you've got hydraulic brakes." And then they came out with carbon fiber frames. "Ah, you're cheating, your bike is much lighter than mine." And so on, including full suspension. They first came out with full suspension, said, "Oh, you're cheating, you got full suspension, you got a better ride than I do." But that, and the fact that we are invading their space, in the past they only had to contend with pedestrians, people pushing baby strollers, people walking their pets, and joggers, and that they could work with. Now they got a whole lot more bikes, particularly the elderly, as I am. As Rush Limbaugh used to say, a seasoned citizen. And but now more and more young people, including the mountain bike crowd, are jumping on the e-bike bandwagon. So with that, let's go ride. Hey everybody, welcome back. We are now starting in Brookville, Ohio, on the Wolf Creek Rail Trail, and we're headed to Verona, Ohio. We've been here before in previous videos. Boy, that truck was loud. And it's such a nice day, I thought I'd get out here and see how many other people are out. I'm starting out kind of late. It's about 3:30 right now, and rather than mix it up with the going home traffic, I thought I'd get out here on the trail and see how many other folks are out and about. Once again, it's unseasonably warm, so we got to take advantage of it. We also had good weather over the weekend, but I had family visiting, so I thought it would look bad if I got out on my bike while everybody was here, and it was worth it. I had a nice visit with everybody. If you haven't seen any of my previous videos, it's E-Bike Adventures with Freight Dog Danny. I'm Danny, and I'm a retired Air Force pilot and a retired airline pilot, and together I flew cargo and folks, mostly cargo, all over the world for most of my adult life. I'm now retired, a certified seasoned citizen at age 68, and I took up e-biking. Oh, here comes traffic crossing the trail, and we're clear. Yeah, I took up e-biking. I gave him the head nod, and he returned it. Last April, and I've got somewhere around 400 miles on my odometer thus far, and having a great time. Mrs. Freight Dog, due to spinal surgery that she had last summer, has been unable to join me on an e-bike, but she's going to get her first taste of it coming up in just a week. We're headed down to Gulf Shores, Alabama, and in specific, Orange Beach. We rented a condo for the week, and we're going to be spending time down there, and I've already looked into it. There are e-bike rentals available. So she'll be getting her first taste of it, and hopefully we'll be getting her e-bike sometime before summer. And I won't have to ride alone anymore. Although I'm not sure if she wants to be on camera or not, but she can still follow me or ride out ahead. But once again, the subject of today, are you cheating when you're riding an e-bike? If you have not been confronted by a traditional cyclist who calls you a cheater, stand by. Most likely, it's a coming. And you got to ask yourself, if I'm cheating, what am I cheating at? Don't you have to be in a contest or a competition or a race of some type with somebody to be accused of cheating? You know, certainly, if you were in a contest or a race with somebody on a conventional bike and you most likely would win, yeah, that would be cheating because you do have the electrical assist. But at the same time, is a weightlifter cheating when he's doing a bench press of a heavy weight and he has somebody spot him? He's not cheating. He's just using the assistance of one of his buddies in the course of his training so that he can lift it unassisted. Some gyms are equipped with a pull-up helper device where you grip the pull-up bar and you stand on a device that gives you an electrical assist in completing that pull-up. Let me slow down for these folks here. I got a couple of doggies with them. Good afternoon. Hi. Hi. You never know what the doggies are going to do. Good thing he was on a leash, but he was a little guy anyway. He might have had a hard time even reaching my ankles on the pedals. But yeah, once again, if you're unable to do a complete pull-up or very many pull-ups as a training aid, that would be of great assistance. So are you cheating? No, you're just training. So when it comes to an e-bike and you're out riding by yourself, you're not in a race or a competition, are you cheating? Heck no. And when it gets right down to it, who the heck cares? The traditional cyclists, like I was saying in the beginning of the video, I think they just perceive us as invading their space. And I don't know. When I look at some of those guys, the real hardcore ones that are decked out in their spandex and lycra outfits and their aerodynamic teardrop helmet, yeah, I think they look kind of ridiculous. But if he's confronted with it, he really doesn't care. In the same way that we don't care, the way that we're decked out. The aerodynamic advantage that getup gives them, they're willing to accept looking a little bit funny. And as far as I'm concerned, I've got on a Dayglow orange long sleeve shirt that I even wear in the summertime for protection, not only against the sun, but also against road rash should I fall. I've got on these cyclist gloves that I highly recommend. They have a gel pad on the palm, and it's not padded on the back of the palm, but at least it's covered. You know, a natural tendency of most folks when they fall is to stick their arms out in front of them to break the fall, and your palm is going to take the brunt of that. So it's strongly advisable to wear cycling gloves, at least in the weather when you can tolerate the open fingers. It's warm enough now where I can do that. I do have some gloves that I found the fingertips are touch screen compatible, so you can still use your touch screen on your device, whether it's an iPad or a tablet of some kind or a smartphone. But I also have on a Dayglow yellow helmet, as you saw in the beginning of the video, and that helmet is also NTA certified up to 28 miles an hour, which is the max of a class 3 bike. And the company, Surface, let me slow down here. This is a major intersection with 60-mile-an-hour traffic on it. This is the old National Trail, US 40. And he's slowing down for a turn, but there's somebody behind him. And there's somebody coming from the left as well. I'm going to wait on the traffic just to be safe. Yeah, this old National Trail was one of our first highways that was commissioned to be built actually by George Washington. And it extends from, I think, Baltimore beyond Denver, Colorado. I think it may even go further, but there's probably some breaks in it. It parallels I-70, and so it shares, you know, where US 40 quits. Where US 40 quits, it runs concurrently with I-70. But I have on long pants today. In the summertime I do wear shorts, but I think that if I fall, most likely the brunt of any punishment that the body takes would probably be the upper body and the arms and the head, and that's why I've got the helmet. And the helmet is a Surface. I can't recall the name of it, but I'll look that up and put a note on the video so you know which one it is. But this one is actually certified by the NTA and the Consumer Product Safety Commission for crashes up to 28 miles an hour, and Surface will replace it if you do have a crash and you hit your head for 2 years. So that's a pretty good deal. It's only about 80 bucks. But when Mrs. Freight Dog starts to ride, we're going to investigate the helmets that have the communication so we can talk to one another as well. But yeah, in our own way, with decked out in all of our day glow attire, helmets, I got on a yellow safety vest as well. We probably look pretty unusual in our own right, but we don't care because I'm interested in comfort as well as safety. Let me pass this gentleman up here. Passing on your left. And additionally, you would have to ask your traditional cyclist, wouldn't he want his mother and father or his grandparents to take advantage of the opportunity to get out and about in Mother Nature and get some exercise rather than sitting at home watching Wheel of Fortune or Price is Right, or sitting in some senior center playing pinochle and canasta? And we're good. You know, the opportunity for physical fitness and just getting out and enjoying life in nature is just tremendous. A lot of people that have mobility issues, physical limitations, or just old and out of shape, affords them the opportunity to do so without breaking too much of a sweat. I had a traditional cycle just about 7 or 8 years ago. I still have it. It's in my shed and hasn't been ridden in a while. But unless I was on a level path just like this, if there was any hill beyond just a gentle slope that was short, it just took all the fun out of the ride. I was killing myself getting up that hill, and sometimes having to stop and push the bike up the hill, and then the fun was over. So little by little the bike got put away and I didn't ride it for all that time until I became aware of e-bikes. Since I've started riding, I've lost 32 pounds. I was right just shy of 300 pounds. And it's not all been cycling. Over the winter, I've been doing a combination of the carnivore diet, and I got tired of just having the carnivore diet, beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, and I felt like I needed some greens and some limited fruit, so I dropped down to the keto diet. And I'm still doing carnivore, so some people are calling it dirty keto or dirty carnivore or ketovore. And the weight loss is continuing. So the exercise and getting out and enjoying life, I feel, is probably added easily, 10 years plus to my life. And wouldn't that traditional cyclist want that for his parents and grandparents? And so, chances are you're not going to have an opportunity to have a conversation with a traditional cyclist unless you stop somewhere where cyclists have been stopping to rest or do repairs, or maybe a roadside restaurant or something for refreshment. But if you do have the opportunity to speak to a cyclist, ask him what contest that you're enrolled in with him, or what race or competition, because there's not any. And as long as you're courteous to one another and share the trail or the road, there shouldn't be any problems. Yeah, I was discussing with a friend of mine ideas for videos, and this is where this one came up. I mentioned it in some of my past videos. There was a fella in England that actually did a comparison of riding his e-bike with no pedal assist. I'm assuming he had an e-bike that was relatively lightweight as composed to the big 80-pound monstrosity that I have. And because pedaling this thing in zero pedal assist is pretty difficult. But he compared riding with zero pedal assist with riding with pedal assist 3 over the same course, the same distance, and he rested in between so that one wasn't adversely affected by the other. And he compared the power that was put out by the bike and himself to his heart rate and the calories burned. And actually, the pedal assist 3 showed that he was burning more calories and his heart rate was getting at least as high, if not higher, than he was when he was pedaling the bike. Now, part of that may be when you're pedaling a regular road bike that is much lighter in weight, you're not going to expend as much energy. But when you get on that electric bike, which is much heavier in most cases, that's going to make the difference. But I will put a link. Oh, I didn't see that guy coming. Good thing he saw me. I will put a link to that video below, and you'll be able to take a look at it yourself. I think the results are pretty surprising. Next is a video from another guy from the UK who is an Ironman triathlete. If you're not familiar with the Ironman, these guys run a full 26-mile, I think it's 26 miles and change marathon, as well as a 112-mile bike ride, followed by I think it's a 3-mile open water swim. I'll put the details of that down as well. Anyways, if you're familiar with Ironman triathletes, these guys are beasts. You know, being able to complete all of that one after the other just really takes a tremendous athlete. And this guy was always training 365 days a year for the triathlons that he competed in. And he had this one course which included a pretty good hill, and that hill routinely kicked his butt. And in the video, he shows himself with a head-mounted camera looking down at his pedals. And this guy is pedaling his little heart out. He's only doing about 2 or 3 miles an hour going up this hill. And he just absolutely hated it. But he was a dedicated athlete, so he continued to do it. He tells a story of he had a buddy that got an e-bike, and he just kind of chuckled and humored the guy. And the guy kept offering to let him ride his e-bike, and one day he humored him and took him up on it. He climbed on board, and he said within 30 seconds he was absolutely sold. He rode the bike over his normal course, and that hill didn't kill him like his normal workouts do. And he found that his heart rate was still reaching that optimum level that athletes are always looking for. But he went much farther, much faster, and it was a lot more fun and enjoyable because he wasn't absolutely killing himself. And that's why I quit riding a regular bike. Those hills or long distances were killing me. So I just had to stop. And same way if you're a jogger, if you hit that barrier and you can't go any further, the fun's over. Now we have arrived in Verona, Ohio. It just took us about 17 minutes. So I'm going to turn around up here, and I think we will terminate the video for the day. I think we've discussed everything that we need to. Take a look at those videos, and there's lots of other cheating videos out there on YouTube. So take a look at those and see what folks have to say. And as I said, you do get a good workout on these machines. I wouldn't be continuing to do it if I did not, and I would not be losing weight the way that I have been. Now, admittedly, like I said, a lot of the weight loss is because of the carnivore and the keto diet. But I am losing weight, and I am getting in shape, and I'm enjoying life. And as the actor in The Shawshank Redemption said, and I think it's Tim Robbins who played the character of Andy Dufresne, and he said, get to living or get to dying. And that's what's going to happen if you don't get out and enjoy life and get some exercise, and the e-bike is a good way for most of us to do it. So thanks a lot for watching. Please hit the like, subscribe, and notify buttons, and share this with your friends as well. And we'll see you next time.